Hey guys, welcome back to Robo.in. Hope you all doing well and staying safe. In this video, we are going to try and solve a Python problem, particularly an OpenCV problem. So we will have an input image, something similar to this. So this is a CT scan of a belly. There are all different organs of the belly which we cannot easily interpret. So we will convert it into an image, something similar to this. So you can see this is an image which is a colorful image of the same CT scan, but now we can recognize all the different parts of the body because it is labeled and it is colored, right? So we'll know how we will be doing this, how we'll be converting this into this. It is through image processing in OpenCV. What operations we'll be using, we'll be finding out that soon. If you want to learn about that, stay tuned. So let's start our coding part now. Open it in idle. The first thing to do will be to import all these libraries. Import numpy as np, import cv2, which is the library for OpenCV, import os. This is the library through which Python understands and calls the functions from Windows. It is the function library with the help of which we talk to the system, basically, not basically. Okay. So this is import cv2, which is import cv2, which is our library for OpenCV, and this is import os. It is where how the Python program will talk to the system, Windows system. And for image processing, not image processing, image conversion, I will have this image IO library. So we'll be talking about it in depth soon. Let's take and process and let's work out how we'll be doing this. So first I'll be taking the input GIF file and I'll be converting into a JPEG format. Now why we need to convert it into a JPEG format? Because OpenCV cannot perform its operation directly on the GIF format. We need to get it to a format, convert it into a format where OpenCV can process. So let's start. I'll be creating a variable named GIF and we'll begin cv2.video capture, and that's it. Kidney input.gif. That's my input image. Now what I'm doing here is I'm taking it as a video file. So as you see, my GIF file was static, so there were no like moving frames, no dynamic frames. So I'll be saving one of its frame as a frame variable and I'll be reading it. Later on I need to save this, so let's save it now. cv2.imwrite. Okay, and delete these. Okay, now it's all right, and I'll be reading the frame, not the image, the frame. Alright, so this is good. So what we have done is we have taken the kidney input.gif as an input, and then we have read one of its frame, and then we have written the image converted it into a image.jpg file and saved it in the same folder which I have shown you before. So now our program is right now not over. We need to end it. For those who have used OpenCV, we know that we need to create a kind of if condition. It means the program will not end after one turn. It will only end after I press the specific buttons. Here it is 27 in ASCII. So that's that. Now let's run this program. Before that, first let me check. So these folder have, right now we have 2 files. After I run this, we should have 3 files, an additional image.jpg file. Okay, I know where the error is. Did I cancel the whole thing? Yeah. Okay, now it should run. Yeah, so we have these JPEG file format. This is a JPEG image, JPEG image, whatever. Let's continue now. Now what is the next step? It is to process the JPEG image, right? We need to convert it into a colorful format. You could have you would have seen that in our thumbnail. We will be doing the same, but first we need to save this variable, like the image.jpeg. We need to store this image into a variable. So let's create a variable and read the image which we stored before, which was image.jpeg. So I am read, and yeah, image.jpeg. That's that. Okay, great. Now I'll be showing this on a kind of, let's say, small window. It's a small window where we'll be showing our output. We need to give it a name, so I'll be giving it image1. This is the title of the window, and this is the image which we want to be shown. Now let's run it again. Okay, save. Yeah, so this is how it looks. Okay, so there's a lot of gibberish in this image, right? Yeah, there's a lot of noise here. You cannot see most of the parts. We need to remove all that, but first we need to convert it into grayish format. Now you would think, why we need to convert this thing into a grayish format? It's already gray. So what happens is, when we do morphological transformations and when we'll be doing the thresholding and opening, like in connected components thing, it will not take these direct image as an input. We need to convert it into a BGR to gray, or it will throw an error. Let's do this. It's an important step. So I'll be doing it. Image is my variable, and CVT color. BGR to gray. Okay, that ends here. Copy paste this one. Okay, let's run it again. Both of these images will be same, not much of a difference. Let's see what's the error. cv2.cv2 has no attribute BGR to gray. Is it? I think we do. cv2, okay, dot color. I forgot to give it color. Right. Now it should work. Yeah. So this was our former image and this is our latter image. I know there's not much of a difference, but it will help us out. The next step is doing the thresholding. Now what exactly is thresholding? Thresholding is basically setting a value Now in these image, I'll be opening this image, or I can just basically, yeah, I'll be just running this from here. That's easy. So these image, we have now it has various colors, like now we converted into a grayish format, so it has black and white. We need to understand what is a dark image, like what is a black image and what is a white image. We need to convert it into a format which is black and white. It should be binary. Now why it should be a binary? To separate the foreground and the background. The background is all the these things, the noise, these things which do not matter, this, and this is the background, right? All the things which do not matter, and the foreground are these things: kidney, liver, spleen, which are important parts and components, not components. So the foreground are the foreground are these things: the liver, the kidney, the spleen, everything which we need to label and color. Okay, so that's it. So thresholding is basically separating foreground from background. Let's do this. First we need to create a variable like we did before. We'll name it thresh1, and same thing, we'll be doing cv2.threshold because it's a function in OpenCV. cv2.threshold. Now we need to give 4 parameters to it. Okay, first is the image, second is below what value will it consider the pixels to be 0. We know that an image is made up of several thousand, millions or hundreds of pixels, okay, depending upon the size of the image and its resolution. So what we need here is we need numbers which can separate 0 from 1. Basically it says that if the number is below this, it is considered to be as 0, and if it is above this, it will be considered as 1, and then we'll be giving thresh binary. Okay, so for moving forward, let's comment this out. Need to comment this out. Okay, and let's print this one out. I am sure. Let's name it threshold. And yeah, we have thresh1. Save it and run it. Yeah, so we can see a great deal of difference. All the parts now we can see clearly. This is one of the part, this is one of the part, this, and there's some noise too. We need to remove this noise somehow. I'll tell you how. That is the very next step we are going to do, and everything is very clear, right? So what we did here is as I told you, 0 and 1s, whichever below the value of 130 is 0 and above 255. It's from 0 to 255 only. You can increase and decrease the value and see the difference. Let's do it 110 and try. Just try. See, the whole image is filled up. So this is not what we need. You can tweak it as per your necessity. Let's do it 120 and see how it works. And it's, yeah, and nothing is visible. We need for something to be visible to us. So 130 is the optimum level of thresholding, binary thresholding, which we need. Yeah, everything is very clear. You can tweak according to your requirements too. So let's move on to a very next step. As we saw before, we have lots of noise in our image. So what we need to perform here is a morphological transformation. But first we need to create a simple blank image. simple blank matrix. I'll tell you why we are creating it. np.uint 8. Good. We can even print it to see what it is. Okay, so these are our two outputs which we saw before, and this is what we created right now through np.once. We have created a matrix of 6 by 6 value, like it will have horizontally and vertically. Let's see, horizontally we have 6 values, 1 2 3 4 5 6, and like vertically we'll have the same values. Like horizontally we'll have the same values 6 and vertically 2. So 6 by 6 the matrix, and it is np.once. Okay, so that's done. What we are doing here for morphological transformations, we need to give this kernel as an input. We have 3 inputs there, we'll see that, and we need to put one of these as the inputs. There are various types of morphological transformation. The tutorials are available on internet. What we will be performing here is kind of a combination of erosion and dilation. So what it does means, you need to understand that. You can do a Google search. It basically means, in a simple sentence, when we talk about erosion, it means that we reduce the thickness of the components which we figured out early on, these components, right? And dilation is the opposite of it, where we increase the thickness of those. Morphology, like for opening, is the combination of both of these, right? Let's do this now. We'll be doing morph open because we choose opening. So this is morph open, and then we'll be giving these matrix of kernel as an input. So we have 3 inputs for these. Now let's comment these things out because we don't need them. We need it. Let's keep the thresholding image to see the difference. cv2.imshow opening, and I need to give it a title. Okay, let's run it. Yeah, see, a huge difference, So why did we give those kernel values? 0 and 1 is basically white and black. So when we give them the value of 1 by 1 matrix, we taught the function to differentiate between the noise and the proper diagram. So we have these proper diagram now. That is what we needed, but it is still not interpretable by a common person. So you need to do labeling. Let's num label now. We'll create only 2 of those because we'll be using it later on. And let's use connected components now. It's okay, this should be small and the data C should be bigger. Okay, this is set, and we'll give our opening as a input file, and then let's print. Let's not print it, let's just move forward with it. It's not that important. Yes. Okay, now when right now we have a morphological transformed image, right? This is our opening, and now we are going to use connected components. So what connected components will do, it will basically give it color. it will basically figure out which components are connected and how many components are there in total, and it will not. Okay, so what will connected components do? It will figure out how many connected components we have in the figure. If we print it out, we'll get the number of connected components. Let's do that. It's fine. Okay. So no, did I make a mistake? Let's see. I figured CV2 dot connected components is good. Num labels, opening it, right? And I printed num labels. Am I wrong somewhere? Just rerun it. Okay, it's num label. Okay, let's run it and see what we can do. Yeah, we have 13 connected components. It has figured them out, the program itself. Okay, now what the part remains is giving them names, okay, and giving them colors. You can even skip giving colors to them and directly go on to give them name. Okay, so it's seriously very easy, but I'll just do it for my sake. So first we have this grayish white and black image. We need to give it a range of colors, so we'll be giving it converting it to an HSV value, and then we'll be going to BGR or RGB. Okay, so let's give it. If you don't know what HSV values are, again, Google search is the bestest. These are HSV value are basically different shades of a specific color. If I try to explain it in simple terms, so let's start. Now here what we are doing is we are giving the value different intensity values to different name numbers. You can see we have 179 is the maximum value of the hue, and then we are dividing it by the max levels. We are doing it so all the 13 connected components get their each individual colors. Okay, now let's do a cv2.im show so we can get the output. You'll get a better understanding by the running the module rather than me explaining it. So what is missing? Did I miss something? Oh, okay, I missed the name. Let's put it as label.hue. Okay, so now it has differentiated this image on the basis of its intensity, how connected these beings are. You can see these kidney part, this liver part, sorry, it is the most connected, I guess, or the most disconnected. So you can see here that the label hue thing we did has differentiated all these components, opening components, in different form of black, maybe from white to black. So it is a little grayish, a dull gray. Okay, so we have given it different values of black and white. We get it? Okay, so next step would be creating a blank channel, a blank image, and then giving it as a background to this, because you see now we cannot see few of the parts here, like because of the background we are not able to see the liver here. We need to have a good background, so let's create a background. 255, it is the max value. np.once, yeah, we are again creating the matrix like we did before. Okay, let's see. And we'll be running it. We got an error. NP _1 like it. Okay, I didn't put that dot. Okay, that's an important part. Did I just delete the whole thing? Okay, great. Now let's run again. Yeah, so this is a blank channel. This is completely white. Okay, next, when we'll be merging this three images, the one we got at label hue, the one we getting at blank channel, what we'll be getting is a yellowish image. Okay, so we'll be doing cv2.merge now. Okay, so we need a bracket here internally, and we need to name it label. Now the cv2.merge have like we need to give it three parameters, R, G and B. So for R I have given label hue, while for other two I'll be giving the blank channels. Okay, I didn't do the IM show. We need to first cut these off. Let's do the hash and comment it out. Yeah, great. Again. Labeled image. So yeah, so we will be merging this and we'll be seeing the output now. How the output is, yeah, we are getting this yellowish image. Okay, so after merging these three images, now it's purely on intuition. Okay, there's nothing much you can change these values, vary it until you get the output you require. Now I'm not really getting the output I require. Why? Because it is still not visible, but it's an HSV value. I need it in BGR, right? So there's still a need for conversion. Let's convert it into a BGR now. I'll be giving the same name. Let's copy this again. Convert color and labeled image as an input, and let's convert these HSV values into BGR. Now I have already did a lot of trial and error during these conversion to get the value which I'll be getting now. You need to do it yourself. You need to keep trying until you get the specified output you need. So let's do it. Let's name it colored, right? So from yellow it is converted to red now, because this is complete HSV to BGR conversion. BGR, before it was just the intensity, like it was just the yellow color and the shades of it, and even before that we did had the only the shades of black, right? Now we have, when we converted the HSV values to BGR, we have all sorts of colors here on our window. But still we are seeing some of the parts, like we are kidney is barely visible and spleen is just like disappeared. So we need a background in which we can show all these colors. So I need a black background. So let's set a black one. Okay, so I'll take labeled image as input, and I'll be giving it a hue value of 0, and here 0. You can change these value. If you change it to -1, we can change these values. If you change it to -1, we'll have the whole white section, but now we have 0. Let's do cv2.imshow again. The 0 signifies black background, while -1 will signify our white background. And if you do it 1, there will be no change in the image, it will be same. Let's name it black BG, run it, and again save it. See, we have a black background image right here. Awesome, right? The next and the final step will be naming all these, right? So any person can understand it. And that is the easiest part. So okay, this is where we were. So putting text is the final part, and that is easy. Like L, let's name L, and do cv2.put text again, and we do labeled image. We name the image. Let's name the text. The text will be, let's close this box first. The text is liver, the image is labeled image, right? And then we need to give various parameters here. This is our font. This is, I guess, thickness, and then we'll have the coordinates where we want it. So I have already figured it out. You can do your own testing, and you can replace it wherever you need. Let's run it. Okay, we still don't have the text. What's the issue? I guess we need to first get rid of these boxes. Let's comment them out. Okay, I have commented this one. I have commented this one. Okay, and again this one. So this is done. We still don't have the text yet. So let's look into the issue. We have this one perfect. This is perfect. This is perfect. Everything is good to go. And we still don't have the color. Okay, let's do another one and see. if I did any mistake. Let's do this again. Right now we need to do the last step, which is naming all the parts properly. Let's do cv2.put text and then label image. Okay, and lever is the text, and again I'll be putting the coordinates. I need to place it 5 at x-axis and at y-axis because it's a two-dimensional image. Okay, that's done. I'll be putting the font. What will be our font here? You can put any font, but I'm choosing a special one which I like. Hershey Complex 0.4, and like these are various font parameters like thickness, color, and other different things. You can change them according to your requirements. I'm just keeping it like these. Okay, I think I have made some sort of mistake. Okay, let's do another one and see what's that. Did I just used a black text on a black background? I'm not sure. Kidney, okay. Now I'll do 20, and then I get these things. Okay, 121. Okay, I didn't show this. I thought I was showing it, but yeah, after this happens I need to show it, right? That's what I thought. The whole thing should work. Let's name it after text and run it. Now it should work. Yeah, oh, okay. So everything is alright. We have the text now, but it is not in the proper of the places, as I can see. Okay, so we need to do this sum, this 170. Okay, that went on the perfect place unexpectedly, and we can do that like the same thing for all the other, like till P, because we have 5 parts here, 5 body parts, 5 organs. Let's do it for all of them. I think we completed the whole thing. Let's run it. Okay, now we have all the parts labeled, and that's it. We have completed it. We just did, right? So we have the output image, and that's what we wanted. So let's just review our whole step, what we did, what we didn't. First we read the input GIF file, which was right here. Then we read the frame and we wrote it and converted into a JPEG file, which is here. Then we converted into a BGR to gray, like it was a BGR file. It looked like it's a gray file, but it was a BGR file. We converted into a grayish format.
then we took the NP1s, the matrix thing, and we performed morphological operations on it, giving input thresh1 and the kernel. After morphological, what happened, I told you about the erosion and dilation and how it is used to improve thickness and reduce noise in the image. And then we applied cv2.connected components to see how many connected components we have overall. We gave it the hue values and then merged it, where we converted the background from from blackish to yellowish, where we did the color grading, and then we completely converted the HSV image to BGR. Even after BGR, we had problems with the foreground and the background, so we converted the background in completely black, and at the end we put the text. So let's take a look at the complete image before and after, and what changes did we make. Right, so this was a before image and this is an after image, and that's a huge difference. Now you can know what parts we have, different parts, and even a kid can understand these parts, which was not very easy when we used CT scan. Right, if you have a solution which is smarter than this and which is less time consuming or in any way better than me, let me know in the comments. I'll surely look into it, and let us know how you like this video in the whole. If you liked it, please make sure to share and subscribe to the channel. Stay safe, stay tuned at Robo.in.